Right, okay, so today we're looking at the keyboard that I use primarily for doing online videos. I also use it for gigging as well. I am going to purchase a new one shortly, but this is the one that I've got at the moment, so I'm hoping that I can sort out an issue with this keyboard. So if we look at the model number, you can probably see the model number there. If I just zoom in on it maybe a little bit, I don't know if it's going to come in focus there, that we have got a Yamaha P155. So that's the model number, so it's an issue with this keyboard. Now looking online, I can't really see any other examples of issues with this keybed, because it's a fairly new one. I don't know if it was about, when I bought this, it was probably about 2018, something like that, so maybe about 6 or 7 years old. But there is an issue with it. So basically, at the moment, as you can see, it's fine. The keys, it's not turned on at the moment, but it does work fine. And you can see that all the keys are working absolutely fine at the moment. The issue is when I'm gigging, for the first half an hour or so the keyboard is playing fine, but then after a while, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, some of the keys start sticking. So that leads me to believe that maybe it's an internal issue with the keybed. Maybe there's some gunk or dirt or dust that's built up inside the keybed, underneath the keys or in between the keys, that is causing it to, when the room is getting hot and humid and it's been played for a while, it starts causing some of these keys to stick. This be particularly a bad one, but as you can see now, there's not an issue with it at all. It's just when it's been played for a while, and maybe the environment that it's in is quite warm and humid. So I'm hoping that we can open up the keyboard, have a look inside and just see what we find. We might not find anything, but I'm pretty sure that when we open it up, we're going to find that the whole keybed could do with a bit of a clean. So that's what this video is about today. So I'm going to run you through the process that I have to go through to open up the piano, get access to the keybed, maybe take the keybed out, so we can have a look at cleaning it up. So that's what we're going to do today. So I've got the screwdriver, and we're just going to start unscrewing these. So sort of end keys here seem to be preventing it from opening. I don't really. Oh, there we go. Nice them off. It does this front bit. I think is designed to be maybe a little bit bendy to get round the keys. Right, so let's pull the whole thing forward a bit. I don't know what went over there. No, it's just I'm just going to bring the camera over to show you. Well, I don't know if you can see that, but if I bring that camera over and we'll just have a quick look. We just have one wire which is attached to the top assembly, so that needs to come out. Now it looks like it goes in at this point to the keyboard, but we should be able to release these 3 connectors, or maybe 4 connectors, and then undo this bit here, and that will take it free. So I'm going to have a go at doing that now. Right, so we can see we've unplugged those connectors, so they've all had to come out. I've just used a little electronic screwdriver just to prise those out. They'll come out relatively easy, but then this one here is connected to this one here, so that needs to come out as well. So I've taken all those out now, and that comes free, so I should be able to, if I just put the camera down, I should be able to take the whole top mounting off now. So we'll have a go at just taking that away. There it goes. That is the only connector that connects that whole top bit up. I'm just going to set that to one side. Then I know that it's not going to fall as I'm working on the key bed. So we've just got one key bed now, and I'm going to try and take that key bed off and see if we can get it cleaned up. So it looks like that wire is free. So if I lift the whole key bed up now, we can have a look and see underneath. Oh, doesn't look too bad, to be fair. I can't really, I mean, underneath obviously there's a lot of dust and things like that, but looking underneath the key bed, I mean, you probably could do with a bit of a clean, to be fair, so I'm going to go ahead and clean it anyway. Oh, let's get it down, set it down there, and just get this dust and goo out. So I would say there's a lot of springs in there as well. I'll give it a clean with the hoover. It's difficult really to see anything here that might be causing the keys to stick. The one thing I am rather pleased about is the fact that if we look, you can see here that there is a lot. I don't know if you can see that with the camera. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit. Oh, we're zoomed in. No, we're not. If we zoom in a little bit with the camera, and I just there's a lot of gunk in this bit here, so I'm going to try and you know, rectify that. I don't know if it's focusing on that, to be fair. Might be a bit too far in. I'll just bring it out a bit. There's quite a bit of goo and gunk here, so I'm going to try and clean all that up. I'm looking at this now and I'm thinking that is probably the main issue. It's this bit here where the keys are going down. I think up inside the keys we might have an issue that needs sorting out, but again there is some stuff here which is really, there's lots of dirt and from when it's been played, so I'm going to get a cloth and try cleaning that. So I'm just going to set this down back onto there, and I'm going to go and get a cloth and get that cleaned up. So I've just got a cloth. I'm just going to give this a good clean down here. The edge of the keys, the top of the keys. I think there might be an issue as well, is when the keyboard warms up, because this main assembly, all the keys are resting on plastic, and I think, you know, that plastic as it warms up is going to get quite, I don't know, it might sort of just go a bit softer. I don't know really, to be honest, but I'm hoping that this cleaning procedure is going to help matters. I don't want to have to start taking keys off. I've had experience of taking keys off these keyboards in the past. That I use at church. Issues with sticky keys, and that was a lot older, that keyboard, to be fair, an older Yamaha Clavanova. But when I opened that up, what I found was that the keys had actually, the plastic had started to perish, and then trying to take those keys off, inevitably, you know, the plastic was perishing even more as I was taking the keys off, so it was, you know, getting worse instead of better. These keys, thankfully, the plastic does not seem to be perishing at all. It's just that there's quite a bit of gunk at the front of these keys. I can see, you know, inside some of the keys here, there's something like a bit of debris that's got jammed up inside the key. So let's see if I can take that debris out. Like so, there it is. You see, a little bit. I've no idea what that is, to be fair, but it just looks like a little piece of, I don't know, plastic or something. That's out, but it does seem quite, the plastic seems quite greasy, so I think there must be some kind of lubricant underneath each of these keys, and I'm thinking if that lubricant has become contaminated, once the keyboard gets warmed up a bit, that lubricant becomes a bit more or less viscous, or more, maybe more viscous, I don't know, and that's what's causing the issues with the keys sticking, but they all seem fine at the moment. I'm just going to, just because I've got this off now, I'm going to put that aside, and then I'm just going to get the hoover and clean the bed. And then we've got like a rubber kind of seal on the bottom here as well, but I'm just going to give this a bit of a wipe down, get all of because there was a lot of dust and hair and all kinds of things in there as well. So I'm just going to make sure that's nice and clean, which no doubt will help. Make sure all of that dust and dirt is gone. Quite a bit of dust and dirt on this leading edge as well. Take the opportunity to clean it all out while we've got it open. There. Oh, look, a little piece of candle wax. Do not know how that got in. Not ideal. I wonder if that could be the issue. Candle wax inside a piano. Who knew? So I'm just going to dry this off now so it's nice and dry. I think all this bottom here has got some metal shielding all just covering the bottom of it as well. I don't know why it would need metal shielding, but maybe it's to prevent RF interference, probably. It might be to supply a bit of rigidity as well, but it doesn't look that thick really, so I don't know if it would be providing any rigidity to the structure of the piano. So we got all that cleaned up. That's looking pretty good. Right, so I'm going to bring the bed back over, the key bed. I'll just have a closer look at it. So I think while we've got this open as well, we might be able to just clean the end of these keys that we can't normally get to. There's some kind of, it's not a gauze, well it could be a gauze, a little gauze at the end, which we can clean off as well. Just make sure all those keys are nice and clean. Now you see, I'm also concerned that there's going to be dirt in between these keys, looking at it, and there's also dirt and grime or underneath each key as well. Now, just don't fancy taking each key off, because I think it could cause more harm than good in doing that. However, I'm just going to have a look at the process of what it's like taking one key off, and then just have a look when I take that key off. See, because I've got a key sticking there, but I'm just not sure whether that's really not because the keyboard is not lying quite flat yet. It's because it's not lying quite flat. Now, I do believe that the process for taking these keys off is relatively straightforward. However, we'll just have a go and see. I know this B is sticking quite a bit, so I'm just going to try and take this one off. So I'll get to the back of it here and just try and prise it up. There we go. So that's come off nice and clean. Now, if we look at this key here, there is dust and there is a little bit of grime sort of here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, whether it's focusing on that, but it does seem, see if I can get it focused on it for you. No, this camera's terrible at focusing, to be fair. See if I can get this focused for you. It wants to focus on this bit here. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. Right, we're in focus now. You see there's a bit of grime on that. Let's just bring the light round. I don't know if that's going to be too bright, to be fair. It might be just, yeah, I'll just leave it like that. We can see there's quite a bit of grime and there's hair there that could be causing it to stick. So and there's a lot of hair on that bit there, which again seems quite greasy. I'm not sure if there isn't some kind of lubricant on these keys, but looking at the overall condition of the key, seems to be quite alright. I don't want to clean any of the lubricant away from it, but I'll certainly give the key a nice clean on the inside, which is where it's potentially making it stick, and then maybe on the just on the inner bit here, just give it a bit of a clean out. I think that's going to do it. Now you can imagine to do this for every key is going to take, well, a long time, but I'm just going to take a few more off. Hopefully I'll get this one back on okay, and just see what the state of the other. But I do know that that B key was particularly troublesome last time I was playing the gig, so I'm hoping that I'm just going to take the keys off that I know are causing me an issue. However, well, it's not very often that you have a keyboard like this open, is it? So I'm thinking, do you know what, I might just have a go at taking some more of those off. I'm sorry, the camera is not very good at focusing, is it? I think it's probably something to do with the light, really. See if we can get it to focus. No. I could put it onto manual focus and try and focus it manually. There we go. How's that? Is that a bit better? Yeah. That's it. That's nicely in focus. So you can see we've got a nice clean key now. Nice clean key. So we have been trying to take the keys off, and you can see I've taken quite a few of the keys off here, and they did all need cleaning. They were pretty much full of dirt and grime, and you can see some of the dirt and grime that's still in the key bed here. So if the keys are sticking, I'd definitely advise taking these keys off if they're not bent or damaged. Taking them off. I'll just show you how to get the keys off. Okay, so let me just zoom in a little bit onto here, and then we can have a look at how we take the keys off. Okay, so to take the keys off, I've been using a little just electric screwdriver, and then we just basically get in at the back, push in that way, and pulling up a little bit, and they just pop out nicely like that. But we can see that if we look at one of these keys here, I don't think this camera is going to focus on this, is it? So we're going to have to do a manual. Manual focus. So let me just do a manual focus on this. So here we go. There we go. Got a nice key here. Put this light down a little bit. Focusing on this key. Might be a bit too bright, that, so we're not actually seeing the dirt on the key. But we can see this key is actually quite a clean key here, but there's quite a bit of grime kind of here. There's a nice bit of grime at the, quite a bit of grime there. There's grime inside the key as well, we can see there. So it's got hair and all kinds of horrible stuff. So we're just going to clean the key off, get rid of all of that horrible stuff. Lots of grime on that, and I'm also just going to clean inside of that key. Any hair that's sort of built up, I'm just going to take off, and we just clean that key up like so. So now we've got a nice clean key, okay, and I've got to do that now with 88 keys. So we're going to have a go at taking some more of these keys off. So let's have a go. The thing is with these keys as well is that they're numbered, so again, try and focus on this key if we can. We can see, if I just move that light out of the way, we've got quite a bit of grime on that key. You can see at the end of it? It's not, the autofocus is really, there we go. Quite a bit of grime on that key. Which is going to need sorting out. Okay. Let's clean that up. Nice and clean. Same goes for the black keys. So try and zoom in a bit. Well, I can't really zoom in anymore on those black keys. So we just push and they come out pretty easily. You need to be quite delicate as you do it. Don't try and force them too much, because I think if you're forcing them too much you risk breaking them. So this again is a quite a dirty one. So let's just try and get focused on this if we can. Got quite a bit of grime on that one. Quite nasty. Is it going to focus on that? Yeah. Quite nasty bit of grime on there. That just needs cleaning off. Just going to get the cloth. On this I'm just using a regular kind of cloth, just a microfiber cloth, just to clean all that grime off. And then in the top end of it as well, there's a bit of, I don't know if you can see, the bit of grime in there. I'm just cleaning in that top bit as well. I'm leaving this bit here, I'm leaving because it's got some, it looks like it's got some kind of lubricant on it, so I'm just taking the hair off that because there's some dust and hair that's built up on that. And then when the rest of the key is clean, we're kind of happy with it. Yeah, so that's the process for cleaning all these keys up. So carry on taking these keys off. The black keys, again, you can see there's a fair bit of grime here that builds up on the black keys, and then on the edge as well there's a fair bit of grime that's built up on the edge, but you can see there's some residue from like the lubricant, which I don't want to interfere with too much, but there's all kinds of stuff in here, to be fair. Not nice, not nice at all, pretty yucky. Just focus on the keyboard again. So I'm just going to clean this up. And again, I wouldn't recommend cleaning them above the rest of the keyboard because you're just going to get more dirt on that keyboard. But once you've got the key cleaned up, you can move on to the next one. The only thing I would say is, and I've not been like brilliant at sorting this out, but I've got a whole bunch of keys here which I've taken off, and obviously I'm going to have to put them back on at some point. But the keys do have, if we come onto here, the keys do have on them like little what key they are, whether they're A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and they also have what octave they are as well, so we can reference where to put them back. So that's pretty good, but I have got a whole bunch of keys to put back on. So I'll carry on cleaning them now, and then put them all back on, put the piano back together, and we'll see if it performs any better at the next gig. Again, this is a particularly grubby one. You can see how much grime has managed to collect on that key. A lot of a lot of grime on that key. So we're just going to clean that off again with a cloth, and hopefully after we've taken that off, it's going to perform a lot better after we've cleaned that key up. Really disgusting. I'm not surprised the keys were sticking with this, but that's a lot cleaner now. Just all it needs is a little bit of a wipe with a damp cloth. I'm not putting any detergent or anything on it, it's just a damp cloth, like so. So I just wanted to show you the process of actually removing the keys on this. So we've got a black key here that needs to come off, so I'm just going to take this, it's just a little small electronic screwdriver, and we're just going to put it in there, and we just push a little bit, and we just lift up, and the key comes free. Okay, so we've got that key off, which is ready for cleaning. Same process with the white keys. So we just put the screwdriver in here, we just apply a little forward pressure and lift up a little bit, and then the key comes off. You can see on that one we've got quite a bit of grime on there that needs cleaning up. So that's the process for taking the keys off. Okay. And again, as you're taking these keys off, we don't want to be applying too much pressure on them, but they do come off relatively easy. If you're having to put too much pressure on them, then obviously you need to think about, yeah, am I doing it right? Okay. The white keys probably need to come off before the black keys, because the black keys are wedged underneath the white keys. Okay, one more black key here. The black keys seem to come off a little bit easier than the white keys. I don't know if it's because they're shorter. but they seem to come off a bit better. And then once the keys are off, I'll just get the hoover I'm just sucking out any grime or hair. Any grime or hair or dust that's built up inside the key bed. Again, just be very careful with these bits here because they look very sort of delicately balanced really. I mean, there is again some lubricant on these plastic pieces that really I don't want to take all of that lubricant off. I suppose if it was being serviced by like a Yamaha dealership or anything like that, they would maybe clean the lubricant off and replace it with new lubricant, which is probably going to be advisable. Because again, just looking here, there's quite a bit of gunk on the lubricant as well, so I'm just trying to take that grime and dust off that lubricant, but not trying to remove that lubricant. And I don't know if it's a kind of silicone based lubricant, but you know, obviously that hair is collecting all over that lubricant. And if I just give you a close-up of it, you might be able to see a bit clearly, a bit more clearly what's going on with that. But I don't know if you can see that there is sort of lubricant all over these pieces here, but I don't know what type of lubricant it is really. I'll see if I can get really close in for you. I don't know what type of lubricant it is. I'm sure if I googled it you would be able to find out what type of lubricant it is and maybe replace it. But I'm not going to be replacing it today. If I have any issues, I'll let you know. So I'm just taking my very slightly damp cloth and I'm just cleaning all the springs as well, because all these metal bits here are all springs, and obviously if they've got any grime on them that could be impeding some of the travel on the keys when they get in, you know, to room temperature. Cleaning in between these bits as well. I'm just making sure everything is kind of dust free really. We want it to be nice and clean and free. And then obviously when I've used the damp cloth, I've got a dry cloth and I'm just going over and drying that all off, because I don't want to lock in any moisture once I've cleaned the key bed. There we go. So I can carry on taking some of these keys off now. Off they come. Another dirty one for the cleaning pile. There's another one that come off for the cleaning pile. Okay, some of these keys are coming off easier than others. Some you need to apply a little bit more pressure on for whatever reason, I don't know. But I'm certainly glad that I've taken the top assembly off, because that, you know, doing this and having to wiggle around, that's really quite a dirty. I'll get a close up of this one, because that's really quite a dirty key, full of grime. Not so bad on the other side, but on that side is... See, the problem I've got as well in the house is that we've got cats, and I think these cats are really shedding hair, and it's going down in between these keys, which I don't think is helping my issue at all. I think that's part of the problem. So definitely invest in I have invested in a cover that's going to go over these keys after I've cleaned these. So there we go. Let's carry on taking these keys off. Just get the light right. So we've cleaned 88 keys, and they're all looking pretty clean now. So the next job is to put the keys back on. What could possibly go wrong? Well, we'll find out. the keyboard back together. We've cleaned every key, we've had every key off, cleaned every key, got rid of all of the internal gunk, and we'll just have to wait and see for the next gig whether it performs any better. But one thing is for sure, I am going to be, from now on, covering the keyboard with this cover to stop any more dust and hair getting in it. Get it off. Anyway, hope that helped a little bit, but sorry about the video being a bit ropey, but anyway, thanks a lot. See you in the next one.